Okay, test. I think my voice should be able to be heard. Yeah, okay, I don't think today will be a long stream, because to be honest, I'm quite tired and yeah, I still need to prepare a lot of stuff, for the trip to Azerbaijan and to UK. So yeah, I mean, hopefully, I don't think this will be like a 5 hour stream, so probably it will be like 2 or 3 hours. Yeah. Today we are going to talk about this Nuggies, the Nugget song, the song that I made for Aura's anniversary. And yeah, actually this song is quite interesting because it sounds complex. It sounds really hard to write. It is really hard to write, but at the same time, I only wrote it like in I think like 7 days. Yeah, 5 to 7 days. It's really quick to make this song. Yeah. So yeah, I will share like a lot of tips. Actually, basically like this stream is like a huge jazz tips for beginners. And yeah, and this song is just a good example for that, I think. Yeah. Um. Well, first of all, hello, Amanda. Yeah. Yeah, I need to say that I I really like jazz. Yeah, I really like jazz. I listen to a lot of jazz, and that helps a lot. Yeah, if you never heard of jazz before, you might be confused, or maybe like if you just heard like a couple times, you maybe like if you try to write one and then yeah, it might be confusing on where to start. But to be honest, like uh, the best ways to start is just basically to listen to a lot of stuff. Yeah, just listen to a lot of jazz. Usually like especially like for jazz, there are like a lot of jazz memes. Okay, there are a lot of jazz memes in YouTube. So usually I just start from like jazz memes and then just learn whatever from there. So yeah. Yeah. So this is what we are going to talk about today. Uh, as usual, I will talk about like the backstory on how do I decide to write this song, and then this is like a small chord progression lesson. I think I already prepared this. Uh, yeah, and then some tips, and then explaining about the song, and then yeah, actually, last year, well, maybe around like 1.5 years ago, I read a jazz piece called Oranger's Launch. This is for Aura's birthday, I think. And yeah, let's compare how far I grew. Yeah, how far I grew. Because I think it's quite interesting to compare this song with like the Oranger's Launch. This one is pretty good, but yeah, you will notice like uh, how different it is actually. Yeah. Yeah. Let's just start with the backstory. So actually, it started from the New Year this year's New Year resolution. So my 2025 New Year resolutions are, learn even more about music and music theory, especially jazz. That's literally my number one um, New Year resolution. And uh, I have written like two jazz songs. So first is Arranger songs, like again 1.5 years ago, and then Thais Bossa Nova, which is like quite early. I think it's for Pan's anniversary, right? Yeah, it's for Pan's anniversary. But the problem is it's not spicy enough. Yeah, it's quite mild. So like the chord progression is pretty normal, I guess. It's not. Yeah, it's pretty mild. Yeah, I think like for Tides Bossa Nova, I think like everyone can enjoy that song. But for this one, it's a bit weird. Yeah. Again, it's a bit weird. Yeah, meanwhile, like Thais Bossa Nova sounds like, I guess it sounds like elevator music. Right? So, and then Orange's Lawn sounds like a school band or something. But this one is quite involved, I think. Yeah. So initially, actually, the spicy jazz idea was not supposed to be for this project. Yeah. Uh, elevator music, come on. Yeah. Uh, Initially, like the spicy jazz was supposed to be for Kagami no Panda cafe version. And then I also want to make something for Raki Kazuki, uh, where I want to convert her intro BGM to a jazz version. Uh, But the problem is like after I wrote the Sun and the Waves for Pan's anniversary, I don't have any idea left for Aura's anniversary. And yeah, I just immediately think that maybe I should just use the spicy jazz idea for now. Yeah. Uh, but which song, right? So which song should I convert to jazz? So yeah, uh, for I have a plan for Aura's ending BGM. Hopefully, I can do it for next year. But yeah, I don't want to use Aura's ending BGM. So the next thing that I have never even touched is Aura's break BGM. Yeah. So whenever she like went to toilet break or something, she always play that BGM, right? And initially, it's a lo-fi song. Yeah, it's a lo-fi song that where nothing really happens in that song. Uh, yeah, it's like just really chill, like really actually like really lo-fi. Like. So I want to make a jazz out of that. So yeah, the first thing that I try to I think the song is in like it's just a normal 4/4. The time signature is just 4/4. So I try to make it like bit quick. So yeah, because I mean it is supposed to be a lo-fi, right? But this one is not a lo-fi. So I want to make it like bit more energetic. So I try to make it 5/8 because like again like this is jazz and stuff and you know one of the jazz standards is called Peg 5. This is a song title, right? Yeah, this is like a really common song. Like if you just hear like the first couple seconds and you already know what I meant. Yeah, you've probably heard of this song like many times. Other like quote unquote jazz songs with like in 5/8 is like the Mission Impossible song, right? Yeah, so 5/8 is quite spicy, but at the same time, it's too spicy. Not too spicy. Not. It's too energetic. Yeah. I mean, like the song is really chill, right? The song is really chill. So if I make it like too energetic, it feels off. Yeah. So how about let make it like 6/8, which is quite a bit normal than 5/8. But now the problem is it's too slow. Yeah, it's too slow. Like the break between like each notes are way too long. So I just literally I just take the middle and it works. Yeah. It is like one of those bright idea. Yeah, actually I think like I thought of this idea like during a shower, I think. Yeah, like I just like okay, maybe like 11/8 and then okay, it works. Yeah. So now I have this idea of 11 the 11/8. Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much, Pekatan. Yeah. Yeah. Uh This is like this is generally a really brilliant idea. I am very surprised, and like the simple the reason is really simple. Like it's generally just this. Yeah, just try to write the song in 5/8, and it will be too fast, and then try to make it in 6/8, and then it is too slow. Then just write it in 11/8. Like this is like brilliant. So by 11/8, I mean like 5 plus 6. So every other bars is like 5, and then the next bar is 6, and then the next is 5, and then the next is 6. So 11, right? And the 5 is actually split into 3 plus 2, right? So like 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 2, 3, 3. It's something like that. Yeah. Yeah. Shower music. Okay. And then, so actually, like halfway through the project, I'm not sure what the title of the song is. So even if you like look at the project, like the project folder, it's still called like Aura Brick BGM jazz version or something. Yeah, and then so recently, like I've been using like this meme a lot. Especially like this version, like I spam this in many servers, like including in new server, right? Uh, so actually, like while listening to the song, like halfway through, uh, I was literally like doing this post on my desk, and then what should I make this title like? And then like, oh okay, like let's just use this meme as the title. Yeah, this is like a completely true story. And then actually this inspired like the rest of the song, right? So since like this meme is like half not interested and then half like very interested, like and then I used to I think like the sticker name for my for like the sticker name that I use in Discord is called definitely not interested, like and that's why like this song is called definitely not interested in something something. Yeah, and then And that's why like the song has to be like some part boring, some part uplifting. Um, and then this is one additional constraint that I make. I will explain this later at the end of the stream. I want the song to be loopable. Yeah. So it should be like boring, uplifting, and yeah, in that cycle. So this is literally just a meme. Yeah. This is literally just a meme. So I just start writing like, okay, Aura is not interested in something, so let's just say the something is nuggets, like, and then since Rambit can only count to quattro, so I just wrote like four pieces, and then that's the title of the song. Yeah. And then the artwork, so I commissioned to Noe. Yeah, I think she made like a lot of artwork for Aura and for Pantu. And yeah, actually she can do it, and she did it in 2 days. Like both art, she did it in 2 days. And uh, please follow Noe and please support from her. Yeah, she's really kind. Actually, initially she didn't want to be paid, and I just refuse. I don't want to like get this for free. So yeah, if you open like the commission page for Noe, one artwork, so like one this artwork is $5 by the way. So this both of this is $10. And initially didn't want to get paid. So yeah, uh, uh, I tried to, I tried my best to pay her, and yeah, of course at the end I paid her, and I think I gave her like extra tips, because like this is like incredible, like this is exactly what I want. Like it is just insane, like how good this artwork is. Like I have not even like show her the song, and well somehow she just captured the energy like completely. So this is just I'm not sure, like yeah, I mean yeah, so far like I've been working with so many talented artists, and yeah, they're always surprise me. What they did, what they do is always a lot better than what I had in my mind. So yeah, please support Noe. Yeah. And then yeah, the reason why I need to write this song in 1 week is because yeah, I have this project. Like, I have this project. So the Whispering medley actually like it has been really well received. So I'm quite surprised because now this is like the best three. I think like this is the best top three performing uh, video in my channel, which is quite surprising to be honest. Because like it well basically like I didn't share this like in well, this has nothing to do at least with like our Rangers or Friendoras. Like so, this is like completely new to me. So I just share it, and then I'm not sure why, but it seems like people have enjoyed it. And if you have not listened to this one, I really recommend it because this is like one of the best, if not the best, piece I've ever written. Like it sounds very unreal, and there are a lot of stuff that I do that I did to make this project that makes the piano sounds really, really realistic. Yeah, and that will be the stream topic for this song actually. But yeah, the stream will be later after V Expo, obviously. Yeah, yeah. But please look. Watch this video because yeah, it's really nice. I've been listening to this like non-stop actually. Oh yeah, thank you, Megadan. Yeah, and now let's try to learn about jazz. And the first thing that we want to learn is actually the chord progression. How to make your chord progression spicy, right? So instead of like just playing on like basic stuff, so how to make it spicy? So there are some tips here. This is like 5 tips that I basically I discovered by myself, either through experience or through watching many videos. So first tips is definitely horizontal composition. Like it's really hard to make something spicy with vertical composition. Just write everything in horizontal composition, and it went well. Yeah, it most of the time it went well. Yeah. And then second, you probably have heard this a lot, but in jazz there are no wrong notes. Okay, so well, it's not like it has wrong notes. This is like I think this is like Jacob Collier's tips. It's not like there is wrong notes or correct notes. It's more like there are strong decisions and weak decisions. Right? So if basically as long as you have a justification for what you do, that is fine. Yeah, that's like the short tips for like the master class did by Jacob Collier. Yeah, and then third is rather than thinking of chords, think of the context instead. Yeah, and I know that this is kind of abstract because like what is context really means, but yeah, uh, I guess this is like equivalent to how you like how we speak in real life, right? So when we speak in real life, like when we are using any languages, uh, whenever we want to talk something, we do not think about each word by word, right? So we think of the context or like the whole idea that we want to say, and then we just say it, right? So yeah, it's kind of similar. And then this is the third tips, and then this is the fourth tips. So try to use like ambiguous chords. So ambiguous chords means like this chord might not be like the whole context. So like this might be the context, or this might be like just a part of other chords. So maybe like the upper extension of other chords. So if you write ambiguous chords, and it will be easy to improve. And this is actually inspired by Tech Five. Yeah. So if you listen to Tech Five, which obviously I cannot play it here because I will get copyright strike. If you try to listen to Tech Five, there is like this piano like behind the saxophone, right? It's just dun, 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 and that's it. So if you heard that, it might sound boring, right? It just say the same thing over and over again, like repeated through the whole song. But the point is, it's ambiguous. So you can shape it either through the bass or through the melody, which is the saxophone, right? And also, if you can even change like the context using like the drum, right? So because like where's the strong beat and then where's the weak beats, and then yeah, suddenly like the context change. That's like the first song that becomes the inspiration, and then like the second inspiration is actually from the BGM of Pepsi Man. Okay, if you have not heard of the BGM of Pepsi Man, then you need to listen it right now. Yeah, uh, in Pepsi Man, it's basically just one. It's not even a chord, like it's just like one bass line like repeated over and over again. Like it's like this. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, that's the only context that they give us, and then whatever else is just shaped by the solo. Yeah, and there is a really good video. I think like by 8-bit music theory. That breaks down how the solo in Pepsi Man works, and it's really beautiful. Yeah, and how we can add more context through other means other than just the chords, right? So rather than thinking like, oh, which chord is this? What chord is this? Let's just write an ambiguous chord that is easy to improve. That's basically like the basic idea. You told me to listen to Pepsi Man, but I still haven't tried to listen it now. Yeah, and then this is like actually a very interesting tips. Okay, uh, so if you have watched any jazz performance, this is like mandatory. Yeah. If you have watched any live jazz performance, this is mandatory. Okay. So basically like each instrument communicate with each other, right? By communicating it's like through the concept, right? So it's not like they're talking. So they're just like passing around the idea through their music, right? So because it is played by many different people, so there are communication, right? So as I said before, like with this ambiguous chord, so maybe like the bassist play something different, and then it changed the direction of the song, and then the soloist heard, oh, the bass went in that direction. So let's just tag along with the bassist. It's something like that, yeah. But the problem is like if you write a song digitally, then you well there are no multiple peoples, right? So it's just by yourself, yeah. You're just on your own, but you're trying to write like for several different parts. Uh, my number one tips here is to, yeah, this is like, I guess, the more advanced tips rather than the this one is, I guess, like more this one is more basic, like this one is, I guess, more advanced because I don't think like many like digital jazz artists does this. Uh, but yeah, try to imagine as if like each instrument is played by different people, and then try to communicate between instruments, and it will create like a more realistic sounding jazz performance rather than just a jazz inspired pop song. You can actually create a jazz song digitally. Yeah, I think this is really important. So yeah, this is five key tips. Okay, so now let's break it down one by one. So actually, like there are a lot of chord progressions, and we have talked about this chord progression a lot in this channel. Yeah, the 251. I mean, this is like the most used chord progression. Yeah. Uh, well, actually, like there are not a lot of 251 in this song, but still, like I just want to talk this as an example, basically, because it is easy to talk, right? I don't. I want to talk about the chord progression more, but unfortunately, I ran out of time. Yeah, I was really busy like this week because of the trip to Malaysia too. Yeah, so I want to showcase how do we make like even just 251 sounds interesting. There are like a lot of variations, and then we can change we can even add more context with upper extension, right? So I will showcase this later, but this is basically like the upper extension. If you have read any like jazz transcriptions, it is always scary to see like the chord transcription, right? And to this day, I don't even understand what this means, right? This just looks like mathematical notation, like absurd mathematical notation, right? I'm not even sure like what they are talking about. So yeah, uh, but actually these are not that scary. It just looks scary. So yeah, I will showcase about it actually like right after this. Yeah. Oh, actually, let's do it now. Actually, yeah, yeah, let's do it now. Um. Okay. So I think this is FL, right? Okay. Yeah, this is FL. So this is like a modified version of the project. Yeah. I think I made something like chord progression lesson. Okay. Yeah. This is like a chord progression lesson. Okay. So let's start from the left one. Yeah. This is the left one. This is just 251. Okay. This is just 251. Well, actually, all of these are 251. Okay. So let's try to listen to 251. Okay. That sounds like really boring, right? So let's try to listen to this one. Okay. Whatever this is. Okay. Still quite basic, right? But I thought that there are only 251, but why is there like a five chords here, right? And then let's try to listen to the next one. Okay. Now this is quite spicy, right? What is this, right? Okay. So now let's try to listen to the next one. See, like all of these are 251, right? Okay. So now let's try to listen to this one. Okay. And then this is also 251, but I think this is to the minor, right? Yeah, this is to the minor. Yeah, I'm not even sure what this is. I think this is still to the minor. Right. This is like try to compare between the first one and this one. Yeah. And again, all of these are 251. Okay. So what makes this special, right? So what makes this special? Yeah. by the way, if you think like this is like very fancy, like really hard to write or something, I wrote this all of this in 5 minutes. I think. I think I just wrote this in 5 minutes. Okay, let me explain it one by one. So this is the first 251. Okay, this is literally 251. Okay, this is two, this is five, and then this is one. Okay, well you might already notice. Well, this chord is not in the root position. I'm not sure. I forgot the terminology. This is not in the root position, right? So yeah, and the reason is because usually like when I try to write like the chords, I the first thing that I try to think is the I guess like I usually call this the counter melody, right? This is the counter melody. So try to think this as the counter melody, and then this is the bass line, and then everything else is just extra, like for like context, right? So basically, if you just focus on this and then the bass line. So let's reduce the volume of this. The rest, okay? So it's just na ni na, and then if we add back the chords, so let's add back the chords. Yeah, and this is what I meant by horizontal composition, right? So this is horizontal composition, and then the bass is also horizontal composition, and then we just fill everything else. Okay, and just by that, you can already make a better sounding 251. Okay, so let me write the most basic 251. Okay, this is like the most basic 251. If you just play this will sound like a children playing. Like you can notice like this is like there is no context, like even though like this is 251, but this chord seems separated, right, compared to this one. Okay, you can see how like there is like an upward moving direction here, while this one is like confusing, right? Yeah, so it's like it tries to resolve to something here, but suddenly it just disappeared, like, yeah. So that's the most basic of 251. And then this one is actually a secondary 251. So this is just a 2-5 leading to another 2-5. So this is the 2. So this is like D minor. So this is just 2-5 of D minor. Yeah. And again, just think of the counter melody first, like. So the counter melody is just ni na ni na. Okay. Yeah. And then again, everything else is just filling out the blanks. And well, as you guys can see, the bass is quite jumping around here and there. So again, the bass may lack of context, right? But still, it kind of sounds good. Yeah, I mean it's better than the first one, right? Yeah. So this is secondary 251, and then now this thing, so it starts to get spicy, right? Okay, so what is this, right? So this is called Milfiora. This is not a mathematical technique or something. This is called tritone substitution. Okay, this is not something from calculus. Okay, this is called tritone substitution. So what is a tritone, right? So a tritone is just an interval. So this is like the most dissonant interval, and the most dissonant interval is this one. Yeah, if you play this, it will sound dissonant. Okay, like this is the most dissonant sound you can make, like in this the most dissonant interval, I guess. Yeah, yeah. But for some reason, if you try to replace like one of the chords or just the bass, it kind of sounds good. I'm not sure why. Actually, I cannot explain it really well. Like it just feels something, right? Like just try to discord it by itself, okay? Like it does not make sense at all. Yeah. But then because it does not make sense, it wants to resolve. So what's the next resolution? It's not stable, right? It's not stable, so it wants to move somewhere. So what's the next place? Well, the next place is the five, right? So it moves to a certain direction, right? It leads to the resolution. Yeah. And then the nice thing about tritone substitution is that it is kind of like a downward motion, like it's like a chromatic downward motion within the bass. Yeah. So surprisingly, like before tritone substitution, the bass is like jumping around here and there. But using tritone substitution, the bass has like a direction, right? Now the bass has a direction. The counter melody we can add the direction, and then just fill everything else. And yeah, we ended up with this one. Yeah. Well, this one is actually this C sharp is the tritone substitution of G actually. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, this one is just the tritone substitution of the second chord, and then this is the first. Yeah, and actually, like if you try to think like, oh no, tritone is spicy, tritone is like obnoxious, like it's confusing. But believe me or not, one of the most used one genre that like basically use a lot of tritone substitution is actually bossa nova. Okay, if you try to listen to bossa nova, it does not sound like weird. It does not sound spicy. It does not sound obnoxious. Like it does not sound like dissonant. It just sounds nice, right? So why is something dissonant sounds nice? And the answer is, well, because why not, right? Dissonant does not equals to bad. Yeah, this is like this is like one thing that uh actually like a lot of people cannot understand. Yeah, and I know that like dissonant sounds weird, right? But as long as you can justify it, yeah, for example, like in bossa nova, then it sounds nice. You don't even notice if the tritone is there, right? Like if I does not mention the tritone here, probably like no one will notice, right? Oh, this sounds fine, right? Okay, let's try to change this with to five, right? So without the tritone, it sounds like a kid, right? It sounds like a kid writing this song, right? Like it just moves better, right? It moves better. Like I'm not even sure why. I can explain it like theoretically, like oh okay, this moving oh sorry, this thing moves upwards and then this thing moves downwards. It can be explained, but still, like why it works this well, I don't even know. Yeah, I don't even know why tritone substitution works this well. Yeah, and by the way, you can rather than just replacing the bass with tritone, you can actually replace the whole thing, like just replace the whole chord with tritone. Yeah, the tritone substitution of the original chords, and it still works well. Yeah. So yeah, this is basically tritone substitution, right? So now let's combine everything. So this is basically secondary 251 with tritone substitution. And one thing that you can clearly notice that it creates like a really nice like staircase, right? So it moves downward like one by one. This is just I think this is tritone substitution and then this is tritone substitution, right? So let's try to listen it again. Yeah, like what's weird about this, right? When the first time I heard like of triton substitution, I was thinking like, oh, this is like some kind of like weird tricks that only jazz musician try or learn, right? But after like trying this on any composition, it just sounds good. Yeah, it just sounds good. Yeah, and that's triton substitution, right? And this is just the minor version, right? And then this is the 251 to the minor, but with triton. So this is 251 to minor chords with triton substitution. Like again, this seems smart, but this is just 251. Yeah. So like, if I try to explain how do I write this, like this is just so yeah, this is just the triton, right? This is just the triton of two. So let's this is the 251. Okay, and then let's put it the triton back. Yeah, it sounds cool again. And then if you notice, this is actually not C minor. Oh, this might be like a very cool chord with so many upper extensions, right? And the answer is I don't even know what chord is this. So again, like the way I wrote this is just I try to think of the counter melody first, right? So again, the counter melody is just na ni ni. Yeah, it's just these two. Okay, and then everything else is just filled in. So this is C. So this three is just C minor, right? And then this is the counter melody. So let's try to delete this. Already sounds pretty cool, right? Even though this is just C minor, and then this is just the uh yeah, this is just the counter melody. But again, if we try to add back like I think this should be like C minor 9 or something, right? Yeah. And again, suddenly it sounds cool. Yeah. And again, all of these are 251. It's just 251 with either secondary 251 or triton substitution. So there are still like many different types of 251. I think like we have like backdoor 25 and then screen door 25, whatever it is. Uh, and that's just 25. And we have still so many different chord progressions. So yeah, stop spamming like the Rick roll chord progression. Like what's it again? Like the 4 5 3 6. Like yes, yeah, it's really overplayed to be honest. So yeah, even like just the simple 2 5 1 already sounds beautiful. Right? C minor use B flat instead of B natural. Okay, let's try to listen it to B flat, right? Oh yeah, this is C. Okay, thank you, Pikatan. Yeah, this is C minor 9. Yeah, but I think like this is too neutral, so I just change this to this. Yeah, and that's why like this is basically the I guess like this is the skeleton of the chord, right? Because this is C minor, so this C minor gives context, right? This gives context that this is like the 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 first chord, right? And then this is the counter melody. So whatever else we filled in the middle, that's not even matter as long as there's a justification for that. So let's just put this. Okay, okay, it sounds different. It still sounds cool, right? Like it still sounds cool. Let's try different notes. It still sounds cool, right? Even though like this. Well, I mean, this is just C and then C again, right? But like you can just put anything, to be honest. Like whatever it is, like probably there are some contexts that you can justify this chord, right? Yeah. But after like a lot of trial and error, I decided that I want to put it here. Yeah, like, and again, all of these are just 2/5, and all of these are in C major, by the way, well, and C minor. Just transpose everything else. So now everything is in D flat. And again, we already have like so many different chords. Well, it's the same chord progression, but completely different feeling, right? And to be honest, this does not sound as good as like the C minor one, right? I'm not sure why. Yeah, like yeah, and this again proves my point where you cannot just transpose everything up by one. Yeah, but uh, as Jacob Collier said, yeah, just try to use your ears, right? Just try around, and then don't be afraid of mistake. There is no mistake. Again, there is no wrong notes. You just need a justification, right? So how do we justify these like weird or funky or fancy chords, right? And the answer is simple. Just use your ears, right? If it sounds good, then it's fine. And if it does not sound good, then just try other things, right? Yeah, yeah, simple, right? Like surprisingly, it's a lot simpler than I thought. Like really, it is a lot simpler than I thought. Yeah, and that's like basically like the demo for different version of 251. Yeah. And now, actually, there is one more thing that you can use to create like your own course. Yeah. Sometimes, sometimes adopting my own ears. Yeah. Well. Okay. If you're adopting your own ears, then try to listen to like a lot more. Yeah. Try to listen to a lot more. So because like what you believe through your ears are just what you or usually heard, right? So if you are like if you listen to a lot of jazz, then your ears get used to it. Then yeah, I mean suddenly they say, oh, this chord sounds like that one performance from one specific concert, right? So uh, these kind of things helps, yeah, because like when we don't have any kind of reference, it's really hard to say like, okay, I love this, this is good, but turns out it's like, well, maybe I said it good because I don't know what good means, right? Yeah, but yeah, just try to listen to a lot more, and then by learning through other examples, yeah, you can basically train your ears, right, to understand what this actually means, right? Maybe like, and again, this is just chords, right? So we have not even talked about phrasing. Uh, so like the couple previous streams ago, like when I stream about the project for Mari, the Inochi no Namae one, I talk like when there is like a very weird chord, and like Mari does not really like the chord, and then she asked me to change the chord, and then when I try to change the chord, it does not make sense at all, and I have a strong justification on why the chord is there. but it's still too dissonant. And the solution is basically to just change the phrasing, right? Just by changing the phrasing, like it gives different, well, different context, even though it's like in the same, in the same, like the same chord progression, right? So maybe like the equivalent in human language is like diction, right? So like we have this a lot of, like, we have a lot of words with the same meaning, right? Technically you can use it like interchangeably, but still like maybe like one word is more appropriate than the other word in some certain context, right? So maybe like let's say like the word pass away and death is basic, it means the same, right? But like if you say like I'm sorry your mother is dead, it does not sound good, right? But I'm sorry your mother passed away, and it suddenly it sounds like a lot more polite, right? So yeah, I think it's kind of like that. Maybe like maybe this is bullshit. I'm not sure. Well, yeah. Disclaimer: I'm a noob. I'm a jazz noob. So yeah, whatever I said here, please keep in mind that I'm a noob. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So next is the chords from scale. Okay. Yeah. So there are many different scale. So one of the most like quote overused jazz scale is definitely the blues scale, like, because whenever you play blues scale, it sounds already cool. So just takes like some chords from the blues scale, and you're already making jazz. So yeah, and then pentatonic, this is like very common in like I guess like stereotypical Asian song, right? So like if you try like if you try to use like pentatonic, it kind of sounds Asian, right? So yeah, and then there are many different modes. So I'm not talking about modes here because again, this is like another deep rabbit hole. Uh, but this is basically just changing the scales, like well, at least I can show it. I can show it to you through FL. I think it's not hard to demonstrate, but yeah, I will not explain it that deeply. Uh, yeah, actually, let's create one that's called modes. Okay. So this is just the normal like C scale, C major scale. Okay, this is the C major scale. Okay, so if we transpose everything up to like D, you might notice that some suddenly we have like this sharp here and then this sharp here, right? And that's why like whenever you try to play like the other than C major, you have to like touch the black keys, right? In piano. But what happened if we try to make everything else basically like in the white keys, right? And then now we have this scale. And again, I forgot what this modes is called. Yeah. So if you try to take some chords, so let's say like just maybe like 251, but in this scale, it sounds different. Yeah, and the reason why I mentioned about modes in this stream, because there is actually like one part like in the song where I basically use like this mode, but I don't even know like what mode it is, what mode is it, but yeah, let me find it. I think it should be like in I think this one, right? This one kind of sounds like, again, stereotypical Arabic Egyptian, like, yeah, sounding chord, right? Yeah, but again, it kind of it sounds mysterious, right? It sounds mysterious. So again, different scales has different feeling, and then you can take like chords out of like these scales and basically like create a new chord. So basically, that's another justification, right? Oh, okay, I use this chord because it works in this scale. Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah. Okay. I won't talk about this a lot because, to be honest, I'm not prepared to discuss about this like very deeply. Yeah, but this helps. Sometimes this helps. Yeah. And then again, this is I think I already mentioned this before on like when we talk about like the 251. So tips on upper extension. Uh, Rather than thinking of this as like a very cool fancy chords, just think of it as like different chords stacked on top of each other, right? Yeah. And this chord, like this upper extension, can be spread out to different instruments. So again, like maybe let's play this note of the chords like using the piano, and then this chord using the bass, and then use this chord using the saxophone, and then play together. It sounds beautiful. It sounds cool. It sounds fancy. But when you try to listen each instrument one by one, it sounds basic. Yeah. And again, actually, upper extension is easily created by accident through horizontal composition. If you write everything in horizontal composition, you're probably already playing around with upper extension. Okay. Yeah. And actually, I can show you this. Let's open FL again. Actually. Uh, okay. So this is FL. So let's play the song. Okay. So now let's remove everything other than the chord A, chord B, chord C. Okay. This is chord A. Yeah, well, actually, you can already listen to the tritone, right? This is the tritone. Yeah. Okay, it sounds okay. So let's try to listen to the chord B. Yeah, it sounds pretty basic, right? Like this is just D minor, by the way. This is just D minor without any upper extension, right? But let's try to listen to this in the song. Like suddenly, what is this chord, right? Yeah, even though like again, if we remove everything else, it's just 251 to the minor chord, right? And then again, like this is the I think this is the B2. Yeah, yeah, this is B2. And then again, let's try to listen with everything else. Yeah, it suddenly sounds cool, even though it's just okay. This is the counter melody, and again, this is just some basic context, and then shape everything else with the bass line, and then just again communicate between like the bassist and the soloist, right? Yeah. So that's what the tips, man. And I think like uh while looking at this, I think you guys can already see why this only took 7 days to write. Like it's just simple stuff stacked on top of each other to sounds cool, right? So I'm not thinking of like something complex. I'm just stacking a bunch of simple stuff to make it sounds complex. Yeah, and I think like this makes more sense for like if you're playing like live performance, especially like during like live improvisation, like so this makes sense because you're not really thinking about like many different things like complex stuff. You're just playing, right? You're just having a good time, and it sounds cool. Yeah. So I think there's like a good correlation between like whatever I did here and what the jazz musician actually do on the stage, right? Yeah. And then this is tips on horizontal composition. And again, I already said this. First, think of the counter melody, and then think of the bass, and then fills in the rest based on the context, and try to use your ears. If you like it, then put it. If you don't like it, then find other solution. And then yeah, I usually just say this add ornaments, right? This is basically just some well stuff that you put for maybe like to shape the melody more. But by changing like maybe like the counter melody is basic, and then like if you tried some kind of ornaments, and suddenly because this is like stacked on top of the other chords, so it kind of sounds like a passing chords, right? So it's just like a different chords moving like to a certain place. Uh, yeah, and again, suddenly it becomes something complex, even though like it's actually not that complex. Yeah. So like this is basically like the summarize, right? So if you think that this is confusing, then you're still thinking. Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to think. Yeah, just look at the context, and the most important is tension and resolution. So if this sounds awful, then that's not it's not bad. It's just intention. As long as you can find a resolution for it, then it's fine. Yeah. Okay, that's about chords. And now let's talk about jazz. Yeah. So how do we actually learn jazz from a non-jazz musician? Yeah, again, I cannot play any jazz, but at least this is what I believe. Okay, so yeah, this is actually a very rare tips in learning jazz. I never seen this. I've never seen these tips. Okay, so if you want to learn jazz, write it digitally first. Okay, so uh, I'm pretty sure most of the time people are struggling to improv, do live improvisation. It's because it's embarrassing. Like if we made some kind of mistake, then it sounds bad, it sounds out of context, and then everyone is looking at us, and it is embarrassing, right? So the solution is just write digitally because only you can hear your mistake, right? And now you can experiment more. And actually, another thing is that whenever you are playing like live on piano, uh, whenever you make a mistake, you just immediately stop, and then oh no, it sounds bad, and then you're maybe like you're embarrassed, right? But now uh, in when you're writing digitally, most of the time you just write like maybe like a phrase or maybe like a couple bars, and then just play and listen to everything at once, right? So you're forced to write everything else and then listen. And this is not a thing that I used to have like when I'm playing in piano. Yeah, because again, when I'm playing in piano, whenever I make a mistake, I immediately stop. But here, I can just do whatever I want and then play it later, and then I try to listen it. So actually, I write more and I also listen more. So this is a really good tips on learning jazz. Yeah, and again, most importantly, we are the only one who listen. If it sounds bad, then yeah, it's not embarrassing. Yeah, try to build your confidence digitally first. Then you can do more cool stuff later, right? And now this is like again basic like writing just digitally tips. I already mentioned this several times before, but yeah, think of it as a live performance. Well, you handle all the instrument at once. Don't plan too much detail. Yeah, don't plan too much detail. Just plan the melody and then plan the structure. Like what kind of song do you want to make, and then everything else just treat it as an improv, right? And then yeah, again communication between each instrument, right? And this is my previous mistake, the Orange slots. Later I will play this. The reason why I call this a mistake is because it's too planned. Okay, it's not that it's bad. It's just too planned. So it sounds fake. Okay, it sounds like jazz. It's not jazz. It sounds like jazz. That's the problem. So and again, there is no communication between instruments. So it's like instrument is are individuals just playing together at once. It's not like one solid band. It's just like a bunch of, I guess, like school kids playing together in like in the room, right? Yeah, like in the band room or something. Yeah. So what you need is a whole band playing together as one. It's not like five different people at once playing at the same time. Yeah. And then this is like tips on writing in odd meter. So odd meter is like those meter, this refers to like the time signature. So like 4/4, which is like again the most common time signature. But um for odd meter, so it's like whenever we have like five beat at in one bar, so or maybe like in this song where we have 11 beat in one bar, right? So actually, like this is like a huge achievement for me, because at least for Pikatan, yeah, pipe ponytails, the one in chat, yeah, uh Pikatan actually Pikatan is strongly against odd meter. So we talk a lot like in real life. Yeah, I know Pikatan in real life. We talk a lot about music, and yeah, he's always strongly against odd meter because it's always it seems like it's there to show off. It's unnatural, like, so it's there just to show off. And again, he said that this song is more natural in 11/8 rather than 12/8. So yeah, for some reason, like the odd meter is actually better than the even meter in this song. And I have some tips on writing in odd meter. The first is actually use simple melody. Okay. And again, this song has a really simple melody. And just try to think of like songs in odd meter, right? So again, take five. Take five is just na 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 di, dun, dun, da, 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 da. There are a lot of pauses that you can try to think where are we like in the beats, right? And that's for take five, right? And then for like Mission Impossible, it's like dun 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 dun. It's just that, right? So because it has simple melody, you can focus more on the time signature, right? Yeah. So simple melody highlights the odd meter. If you have complex melody and then you have also odd meter at once, it feels like you are trying to show off. Okay. Yeah. So, well, again, this is just beginner tips, by the way. Of course, you can have odd meter and complex melody at the same time if you know what you're doing. If you're a beginner, if and then you try to do this, it definitely sounds like you're trying to show off. Yeah. And I already tried that. And it sounds obnoxious. It sounds like again, it sounds like you're trying to sound cool. Yeah, it's not cool. It sounds like you're trying to sound cool. So yeah, I hate that actually. So use odd meter because context matters. Don't use odd meters because it just sounds cool, right? Yeah, and then this is like tips on solo improv. Actually, I can show you like during the song. So this is like a meme in jazz, like the in jazz community. Repetition legitimized, right? So I can show you like what do I mean by repetition. So okay, let's go back to FL Studio. Yeah. So one thing that you can notice is like usually in a lot of my song, uh, there are almost no repetition. Like there are almost no copy and paste. Where are like on the opposite side, when you're trying to listen to like a lot of pop songs, there are a lot of copy and paste, right? So it's not like repetition is bad. I know that repetition is really good. Repetition is a really effective tool to basically like uh, create the feeling, right? Repetition is needed. So what you need to repeat is not like it's not the whole thing. If you repeat the whole thing, it's just copy and paste, right? So what you need to repeat is actually the idea. Okay, it's not the whole thing. It's just the idea. So let me show you. Where is the solo? Okay, let's try the solo. Okay, this is the solo bass. Yeah. Okay, just from these two, this is a repetition of this one. Okay, it's not the same. It's not the same note. It's not even the same phrasing. But this thing like this, the second phrase is just a repetition of the first phrase. Yeah, yeah. This is like a call and response, right? So, and then if you try to listen to this thing, the next part, yeah. And again, this like this part looks similar to this part, and then it also looks similar to this part, right? So this is actually just a three repetition. This is the first repetition, and then this is the second repetition, and then this is like the third repetition, but it is developed to a different direction, right? Yeah, that's what I meant by repetition. Okay, so repetition is important, but try not to copy the whole thing. Okay, so okay, let me show you again, like maybe the saxophone. I think. Oh no, no, this is not. Where's the solo saxophone? Okay, this is a solo saxophone. Oh, I don't think this has repetition because these are supposed to feel like well, like sloppy, I guess. Yeah. Um the solo piano, I guess. Yeah, this is a solo piano. Okay. Yeah. Again, this is just the a repetition of this, right? Yeah. So again, this just develops the idea from this one. Okay? And then listen to this one. Listen to these stairs, right? Yeah. This is a repetition of this one, and then this thing is a repetition of this one. And again, suddenly it sounds cool, right? Even though it's just a bunch of repetition, but it's the repetition of idea. Okay. So when you have an idea, it may sound weird. Just repeat it because again, repetition legitimizes, right? Yeah. And then I think we have one more solo line, right? Where is it? I forgot. Uh, is it the saxophone? No, 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 no. This is just the melody, right? Yeah. Where is the solo? Um, Solo B piano. I think there is solo C piano. Oh, like this is the solo C piano. Yeah, again, this one is just a repetition. Not only this thing is the like this is the repetition of this one, and then this is a repetition of this one, and then this is repetition. Not only this is like just repeating the same thing over and over again. This is actually a throwback to the previous one, right? So try to listen to again like the solo B, like this one. Okay, this like these stairs, like these upward stairs. And then again, try to listen to the solo C piano. Yeah, it's the same concept. It's the same idea. Repetition legitimate, right? But don't just copy and paste. Like, let's say, like I changed a lot of context, right? I changed like the subdivision. So because the subdivision is changed, like again the context is changed. It's more energetic. And then like it has like weird like initially like in I think like in the solo B it has like just it's just an octave man it's just an octave. Meanwhile like this one has like a weird interval. I don't even remember what is it. Yeah, but again the idea is just repeated between like solo B and solo C. And Yeah, that shows like how you can develop like a simple idea into like an interesting solo. Yeah. So yeah, start with a basic idea, start with a basic and safe idea, and then develops the idea. Yeah. If you have a cool idea, then make this a climax, right? So then make this like the best part ever, like. So don't spam the cool idea. Yeah. Actually, I talked about about this with Pikatan a couple days ago. Yeah, there is one pop song where it has a cool lines, and then instead of making that the climax, it just repeated the cool idea like throughout the whole song. And yeah, it's already boring like just through a couple times listening to it. Yeah. So this is like some tips of on solo improv, right? And then this is like another tips on solo improv in odd meter, okay? And it's actually the same thing. Just use simple melody, right? So simple does not mean it's you're bad at playing, right? But if you're trying to look smart, yeah, trying to look smart is dumber than being dumb, okay? So you don't have to play something complex to look smart, okay? If you're smart, then you're just playing it, right? You don't have to try to look smart. So yeah, this is the first tip. Okay, and the second tips is actually you don't have to make the whole song in odd meter. So like for example, like in Mission Impossible, right? In Mission Impossible, there are some part where it is five eighths, and then some part where it is 6/8. So like we can breathe during the even meter, right? So it even highlights the uniqueness of the odd meter because like now we have odd meters and then even meters and then odd meters, even meters. Like same thing with this one, like it has like 11/8 and then the next part is in 12/8 and then back again with the 11/8. But now since we have the even meter part, we can play like a complex solo here. So actually again, let me open FL again. Okay, so this is FL. And yeah, if you notice, like every single solo, every single like cool solo is in 12/8. It's in even meter, right? So again, this is the odd meter. Yeah, I mean you guys can see like this is like yeah, this is like this bar is in 12, but what I wrote here is in 11. So yeah, it's like offset by like one bit every other bar, I guess. Yeah. But whenever like we hit like the solo part, let's say like this is the solo bass, then suddenly we are back at 12. Okay, so let's see what kind of solo did I put during the odd meter, right? So actually, this is the saxophone. See, it's just something simple. Again, I also want to I want it to feel like wobbly or sloppy, right? You can think of like Aura is being hungry, right? She's trying to eat the nuggets, but yeah, uh, so it feels sloppy, right? So yeah, it's good enough, right? It does not have to be complex. So and it works with the odd meter, right? And I think like there are some solo part where yeah, okay, this is the solo saxophone. Yeah, this is solo saxophone, but again, this is in 12/8, right? Yeah. The solo in even meter is more involved in the odd meter, right? Compared to the odd meter one. And that is intentional, by the way. It's not like I cannot write like something complex in 5/8 or like in the odd meter part. It does not sound good. Yeah, it does not sound good. Okay, And then this is another tips. Okay, I think I tweeted this about this, like tips on texture, right? So, uh, well, we all know that every single sound in this world has their own frequencies, right? So, even if you're playing a percussion, so let's say like if you're hitting a drum, so it produces a sound. If there's a sound, then there should be well, you can associate a note with it, right? Especially if you're a perfect pitch, you can hear like when you play when you hit a kick drum, let's say, you can kind of hear like, oh, that's this note, right? So actually, like you can kind of hear like a chord whenever you hit like let's say a drum gig, right? But we never think of a drum gig as a chord, right? We just think it as a drum gig. So and this is what we call a percussion, right? So some instruments are percussive, even though it's not a percussion. So let's say in piano and bass is actually a really good percussive sounding instrument. Right? So that's why you can play the rhythms using like usually the left hand on piano, and then again using bass like walking bass in this song is basically like the percussion, right? So one thing that you might notice is in this song there is no drums. Okay, I tried to add drums, but it sounds messy, and I immediately realized like I don't want to repeat my previous mistake with the sun and the waves, right? Because in the sun and the waves there is drums and then bass and then like the piano is percussive too, and yeah, it just sounds messy, right? Meanwhile, in this one, it sounds clean because there's already a percussion there, which is from the bass and from the piano, right? And that's enough. You don't need to add even more percussion, right? And that's the first tips. And then the second tips is there might be some chords where you don't even care about what chord this is. You just think of it as a percussion, right? And then you just smash it, and people might think it sounds cool, even though you don't even care like what chord are you playing. You just want some kind of noise. Yeah. Well, I think these tips came a bit more in like the Witch Spring medley. Yeah, in the Witch Spring medley song that I wrote, uh, there's a really good. Well, it is really beautifully phrased, should I say? Yeah, and that's why like I played around with texture on the Witch Spring series, in the Witch Spring medley one. So yeah, I will explain about this later, like in the next stream, I guess, like when we are talking about Witch Spring. And then finally, this is the tips on walking bass. Okay, so because this song is in walking bass, right? And be adventurous. Basically, be adventurous. So actually, like a couple months ago, I think like in the competition in Singapore, like uh there's like uh the jazz like jazz band from NUS basically. They're like performing to performing on the competition programming competition, by the way. Like the jazz band is just filling like the during the ceremony. Uh yeah, and everything else is really good. Like oh, the saxophone is like really good, and then the pianist sounds really professional. Like I can hear that the pianist is like a legit jazz pianist, right? But the bass is just on 1 5 1 5, and I remember that I immediately comment to like my students like why is the walking bass sounds like very awkward, right? Yeah, and now I can kind of understand why. So if you want to write a walking bass, think of it as singing. Okay, think of it as singing. Well, sometimes you kind of need to sing two lines at once. Yeah, because like in walking bass, sometimes you need to take care of two lines at the same time. Yeah, but either way, whether it's just a single line or it's two lines, you need to think of it as singing. Okay, so you don't have to stay at 1 and 5. You kind of need to go to one for context, but you don't have to stay on the context, right? It's boring. Yeah. So for the rest, you can just be adventurous. Try to sing whatever you want to sing, and it kind of becomes the upper extension. Well, technically, it's the lower extension. Yeah. Yeah. So just play anything, even if it's wrong notes. Just do whatever you want. Okay. Because anything that you do, you can always resolve to 5 and then 1, and then you are back on the context. So don't overthink it. Try to think it as singing, and then when you don't like the direction, just go back to 5 and 1. And again, with more and more experience, you will get like the feeling on what you want to play on which one you don't want to play. Yeah, and this is the tips on walking bass. Okay, yeah, that's all like for the jazz tips, I guess. So now let's talk about the song structure. So yeah, so we are back with the specifically like this project, right? So you might already notice from the FL Studio project, right? There's like this chord A, B, B2, C, C2, D, and then melody A, melody B, melody A saxophone, melody B saxophone, bass A2, B, B2, C, and D, and then a different part of solo, right? Yeah. So actually, this is basically the song structure, right? Yeah. So if you listen to the original song, it's just A B A B A B A B, and again, it kind of sounds quote boring. Well, it's lo-fi anyway. Yeah, but in this one, I try to make it like more uplifting. Well, to tell more story rather than just repeating A and B. So basically, I just add C. Okay, and C is just my own additional verse, and this is mostly used for solo, right? So basically, like this is the original song, and then the original song, and then we are going to solo, and then we are back on the song, and then repeat. Yeah, that's basically the whole song structure, right? So A B C B A B C B, and again, this is loopable. Yeah, you can just keep repeating the A B C B A B C B, and then if you want to go to the outro, then just use the D. Yeah, and this is the song structure. And again, there are reasons why I need to create it like this. Yeah, and again, repetition legitimize. Copy and paste equals to boring, but copy and paste with twists, it's interesting, right? And that's why, like, even like this is B, right? So this is B section, and I have two different chord progression for B, and I also have two different bass line for B. So this is not actually for B and B and then B2 and B2. No, you can actually mix around like B with B, B with B2, B2 with B, and then B2 with B2. So just from this, I can create four different sections. Okay. And that's like a really easy way to make your song interesting without like doing any, I guess like any more effort, right? Yeah, and yeah, this is basically why I can basically finish this project in 7 days. Yeah. So basically, how about same melody but with different chord progression? Again, it sounds different, right? And then how about same chord progression but different bass line? Again, different context and etc. Okay. Yeah. And that's basically like the song structure, right? Okay. Let's open FL. So let's talk about the project itself. Yeah, I already talked a lot about uh the the project itself. Like we have already opened this FL Studio for quite a while. But yeah, let's break down like part by part, like for each part. So let's see about like this melody A. Okay, yeah, this is just the original song. Yeah, that's the original song. And then again the chord. This is the chord. Yeah, and actually the chord progression is kind of similar to the original song. By the way, the original song is just in 4 3 4 3 4 3, just repeat it. Yeah, and again, it meant to be lo-fi, right? It meant to be lo-fi. So if you try to make like so many different stories with a lo-fi song, then it's not really lo-fi, right? Well, except like the song that Harry you may told me. Yeah, and that song becomes the inspiration for Dream of Spring. Right? Yeah, that's actually like the best lo-fi song I've ever heard. Like the song that Haru you may recommend. Yeah. We have not stream over analyzing Dream of String, but yeah, when we over analyze Dream of String, I will told you guys about the song. Yeah. But yeah, back to like the original song, the one that Aura plays in every stream. Yeah. Uh It's just in 4/3, 4/3, 4/3. Like the chord is just in the chord progression is just 4/3 and then repeated. Yeah. And so in order to create like more shape, I guess like I changed the 4 into like I guess this is like 2 maybe. I'm not sure. Yeah. So this is 4 and then this is 3. Yeah. So it kind of moves to, well, I guess this, I don't think this is 2. Maybe maybe like 3 flat or something, I'm not sure. And then back. And then again, this is technically like the this is like the 3, but here's the tritone, by the way. This is the tritone. Yeah, and then this is the counter melody, right? This is the like try to listen to the upper, the most top note, right? Yeah, and the bass. I think the bass, this bass is not really adventurous in the beginning because, yeah, I mean the song just started, right? Like it sounds weird, right? But again, try to listen everything at once. Yeah, and the reason why this sounds weird at itself, because again, like this is technically playing other than just the bass line. This is also the percussion, right? So yeah, this combined with the chord is basically like it's like the drum, right? So these two combined is the drum. So if you play the bass by itself, it's kind of sound weird, right? Yeah, yeah. And then this just repeats, right? And then let's try to go to the the chorus, right? This is the chorus. Yeah, and this is already a walking bass. Yeah, this is already a walking bass. Walking bass again. Walking bass again. Yeah, and then the chord itself is again. Uh, I think this is like I think this is just like 4/3/4 and then 1, right? Yeah, and then 4 again, and then oh 1. Okay, it goes to 1, and then this is 2, I think, and then this. It's actually pretty basic, right? If you try to listen to this, it does not sound cool again. Yeah, but the combination with like the simple chords with the counter melody and then the walking bass, and also the melody, by the way, yeah, the melody is just like it's just that being repeated at once. Yeah, so technically this is the melody. So as you guys can see, I'm not just playing the melody, right? Yeah, I'm also playing some chords here. Um, is my internet safe? Right? I mean, uh, I think it's like buffering, right? I mean, it's raining here, so yeah, the internet will be a bit disturbed. Yeah, so I apologize if it's buffering. So yeah, welcome to Indonesia, lah, ya. Uh, okay, yeah. So again, like is the internet safe, right? I mean, it should be relatively safe. Okay. Yeah. So the melody is just like the ta-da-da, okay. So this is the melody, but there is some kind of motion, like even though like this is like a very simple thing to add, but it adds motion, right? It adds motion. Again, this is horizontal composition. It adds motion, even though it's very simple. Yeah. And then this is so no. This one is no, and then this one is ni, and then this is one is ni, and then this goes down, right? And then goes up again, and then up and then down. Yeah. So even though this is just a very simple melody, you can already add motion. Yeah. And again, this one has on its own motion, and then the chord has its own motion, and then the working bass, and it you play together, it sounds like this. Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, pretty cool that like just three simple stuff at the same time equals something complex, right? Okay, now this is actually there is an Easter egg here. So this part, like I call this like the fill C piano. Okay, so this is like the C section, and then the piano is just the fill, and this fill is actually from Oranger's Lounge. Yeah, this is a cool throwback to Oranger's Lounge, just to compare like how well I've improved from Oranger's Lounge. Right, this is Oranger's Lounge. Yeah, and again, stuff like this is not something that I know like even 2 years ago, right? Even 1 year ago, I don't even know like if I can write something like this. So again, this doesn't make sense at all. But try to listen it again with everything else, and suddenly it kind of sounds fine, right? And the reason why is because this is a percussive. This the role of these notes is more percussive than like to give melodic context, right? So you can try to justify this like maybe like I'm not sure like it's not a bell. Well, it's like maybe like a tuning fork or something. I'm not sure. Yeah, but this is percussive, right? And then this is like the chord, right? Basically, yeah. Again, texture, right? This is texture. Yeah, and we already talked about the bass and how the repetition legitimized, right? Yeah, and if you try to listen to this one, okay, so let's try to listen to the bass itself, right? Okay, again, this is one phrase. It kind of sounds, yeah, it sounds melodic, right? And then this develops the idea from the previous phrase. And then again, this develops even further. And suddenly, again, everything else here does not make any sense, right? But try to listen everything else again. And why this sounds better when everything else is played, right? And the reason is because again, one is texture, right? It's here for the percussive effect rather than the melodic, right? And that's the first thing. But when everything else is like percussive and no one is like giving any context, right? So everything else is percussion, then no one is playing the melody and no one is playing like the chord, then what's the context, right? Well, you can imagine it's like when you're just smashing around like with the drums and stuff and basically no one else is playing, it's just like drum fill. And drum fills, like when you're playing like just drum fills, it sounds Celtic, right? It sounds energetic. It sounds very intention, right? Like it's very tense. It's very tense, right? Yeah, and it tries to resolve, and basically this is the resolution, right? So you can think of it like just this is just pure chaos. Yeah, and because this is pure chaos, and it tries to resolve, and that's why like the next part is more satisfying, right? Yeah, it's simply because this is pure chaos. And again, you don't really have to care like what note is this, like is this correct or not. As long as you can justify it with a resolution, then everything else is fine. Oh, hello next time. Hello next time. Okay, I want to talk about this part. So this is um this is solo, right? This is solo piano. Actually, like there is a cool thing here. So yeah, this is about phrasing. Okay, so technically, okay, technically the key signature is in 6/8. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so what's special about this, right? So in at least in music, this is not math. Okay, don't tell your math teacher about this. 6/8 is equal to 2/2. Okay, we already talked about this like in Mari's stream, right? And like in the Inochino Namai stream. Okay, so 6/8 is equals to 2/2. Okay, it's not equals to 3/4. It's equal to 2/2 with like three subdivision. Okay, so well, what's the difference? Like it's equivalent, but it's different. So this is actually the difference, right? So this part is phrased in 2/2, but this part is phrased in 6/8, and then this is 2/2, and then this is 6/8. So again, try to listen it again. So it's like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's something like that. So it's like swaying around, right? It's like swaying around. And again, you can imagine of like Aura being hungry, like wants to eat the nuggets or something, right? Yeah, And then the chord, I think the chord is pretty normal, right? Oh, okay. So actually, like the chord B and chord B2 actually has the same chord progression. I forgot. Yeah, chord B and chord B2 has the same chord progression, but different counter melody. So yeah, this one has like this one is more melodic than the chord B. So yeah, and then down, and then back up again, and then down, and then up, and then up. Yeah. So that's B2. Okay. So again, same chord progression, just different counter melody. Okay. So now, even like just using the same bass. So this is chord B and bass B, but this is chord B2 and bass B, and it already sounds different, right? Yeah, it kind of sounds like flatter here, right? Because this one is sounds like more melodic again, like more energetic, right? Yeah, and then we already talked about this. Like, I want the solo saxophones in the odd meter to be like slouchy or I'm not sure what the word is. Like, yeah, it's basically like Aura being hungry, looking for the nuggets, right? I mean, it's literally the whole song, right? The whole song is about Aura being hungry about the nuggets, right? It's kind of, I really love this saxophone line. It's kind of funny, right? It's kind of funny. Oh my god. Oh yeah, by the way, like, so this plugin is free, by the way. Like the saxophone plugin is free. It's called I forgot. It's called Monster Saxo. Yeah, it's called Monster Sax. It's actually Indonesian. This is actually Indonesian. But surprisingly, it's one of the best uh plugin for a free plugin for saxophone, right? And actually, uh I already have a paid one. Like, so if you try to listen to the sound and the waves, it used like actually it used paid plugin for saxophone. And the reason why is because this one is in, I think this one kind of sounds like alto saxophone, but the thing in the sound in the waves should sound like tenor saxophone. Like, I'm not even sure if this is tenor saxophone or not, but yeah, it kind of sounds higher. So yeah, tenor saxophone is usually like, yeah, it's lower, right? Because tenor is below alto. But yeah, but this one is I'm fine with being alto, so I'm back with this one. So it's kind of easier to phrase. Yeah, this plugin is easier to phrase than the one I bought, even though it's free. Right, that's why like I can make like this slouchy kind of sound. Right. Yeah, yeah. To be honest, I prefer this plugin rather than the paid one. And then this is like a huge rest, right? So you can only hear the melody. This is like the original melody from the song, like so the yeah, like I know I named this bass A2, but basically there is no bass in this part, right? But just try to listen like chord A and bass A compared with chord A and bass A2, right? Basically, like this is the chord with the bass, and then this is a chord without the bass. Yeah, because this chord is ambiguous. The bass can shapes the context, like, but even by removing the bass, so now the ambiguous chord becomes the context, and now this is a different context compared to like the one with the bass line, right? So yeah, and again, this is why I can basically make this project in 7 days, right? Yeah, and then just add the walking bass, right? And yeah, now let's talk about walking bass a bit. So because this bass B2 is actually just full of walking bass, like this is just walking bass, right? And again, I don't even know like if this is possible in like if you try to play it in bass, right? I don't I this is the first time I'm writing walking bass. Okay, if this is bad, then it's okay. Yeah, because this is the first time I'm writing at walking bass. But one thing for sure is I'm having a lot of fun writing walking bass. And second, it's a lot harder than I thought. Yeah, you can see like there is two different lines, right? It's like two different lines. So this short one is like more like again more percussive, but you can lead this into like a different line. So it's like singing two lines at the same time, right? Yeah. Again, if this is not accurate, I apologize. Yeah, but it's kind of cool. Okay, now we are on the C part. Okay, so again, this is A part and then B part, and then well, this is like A. Well, technically this is A again. Well, it is kind of works like a C, but yeah. And then this is B, and then this is not a C. Yeah, this is a solo. Yeah, I think I talked about this like previously. Like it kind of sounds like mysterious, like again Egyptian slash Arabic stereotypical sounding song. Yeah, and the reason why it feels that way is because the modes. Okay, yeah, I will talk about modes like maybe like in other streams. Definitely not this stream. Okay, there is something funny here. Where is okay? So this thing, this is a huge meme in jazz. Okay, this is called the lick. Okay, if you heard like most of jazz songs has this in the solo improv, and at this point, it's like a huge meme. Okay, just track like jazz lick memes, and yeah, uh, and there are a lot of really cool memes. Yeah. Yeah, so I try to force this actually like I know like this lick is not really the best place to put it here, but yeah, it's kind of funny if you know the reference, right? Because this is supposed to be a meme. Yeah, I don't care if this sounds good or not. This is supposed to be a joke. Okay, well, yeah. Okay, so there is one thing that I want to mention here. So this is actually like a major sounding chord, right? But again, everything else actually in minor. So yeah, uh, this is an even more reason that you don't really care about like if it flash or not. And again, if it clashes, then it's just more tension, right? It adds more tension. So yeah, don't really need to think like, oh no, this is the bass and everything else is playing on this chord, and then I have to exactly follow them. And if you try to exactly follow them, then it sounds bland. So yeah. You kind of have to like again communicate, right? So maybe like you throw this idea. Oh, okay. Now the chord is kind of sounding major, and then the bass here, the solo is like, oh, okay, the soloist want to take it that way, so let me play it that way. So yeah, that's the communication. Yeah, that is the communication that I talked about like earlier. Yeah, and I think like there is one chord like I forgot where it's actually a minor chord, but since the bass moved to major, then the solo becomes major too. I forgot which part is it. I think this should be in B, right? Oh no, I think in C. Oh no, maybe in B. I forgot. I genuinely forgot. Where is it? Uh, where is it? I think in C. Right? I forgot. Maybe it's on a different song. Yeah, I apologize for that because like in the past one month I work on this project and the Spring project. Maybe it's on the Spring project. I forgot. Yeah, but yeah, uh, uh, yeah. I think I might refer to this one, but the this major thing. I'm not sure. I forgot which one is it. Yeah, and definitely like this solo resolve to the melody. Like so, this is back to the melody. And then now, if you look closely, this is chord B, but this is bass B2. It's not B2 and B2, it's B and B2. Okay. So this is B2 and B2. And the previous one is B2 and B. And then the previous one again is this B and B. Okay. So there are four different sections of B, and each of them is complete. Each of them are different to each other. So again, B and B, B2 and B, and then well, this is B2 and B, and then B and B2, right? I guess there is no B2 and B2, right? Yeah, I guess there is no B2 and B2. Oh, there is B2 and B2. Oh, during the saxophone. Okay, during the saxophone. Yeah, this is B2 and B2. So four different types of section B. Uh, yeah, just to make it different, right? And I think like I tried to make this one B2 and B2, but it's too noisy, right? Because the B2 is more melodic, and the bass B2 is this is like the full walking bass, so it's also melodic. And then the piano has a melody, and then the saxophone is in a solo. Yeah, I think like when like if all of them like are playing melody at the same time, it's kind of too messy, I guess. Yeah, and the reason why I can put like this melody and the the solo at the same time is because the melody is very simple, right? The melody says "na, na, na," and then repeated a couple times, and that's why like there are a lot of empty spaces where I can put the saxophone solo. Oh, okay. I remember. Okay, so I talked earlier about like the it should be a major. It should be a minor chord, but the bass turns into major. Yeah, it is actually this part. Yeah, it's this part. Yeah, this part. Yeah, this thing. Yeah, exactly at bar 774. Yeah, this is a minor chord, but uh the bass is in actually in major. Yeah, and it affects the solo saxophone. And again, repetition legitimized, right? This is again, this is as this is just a repetition of this one, right? Oh my god, the phrasing on the saxophone here is like again, this can only be achieved at least so far by these free plugins. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks to free plugin, I guess. Yeah, I'm not sure why, but yeah, this free plugin is really good. Yeah, I really recommend this one. Monster saxophone. Yeah. Yeah, and I designed this song to be loopable. So again, I know like this is only loop once, but you can absolutely loop this infinitely many times, right? So yeah, and then uh technically this song does not have to have an ending, but since I need to upload this on YouTube, I kind of need to add an outro, and this is basically the part D, right? And to be honest, I don't really have an idea for the outro. I made this like in 5 minutes, I think. Yeah, I don't think there is really something special with the outro. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, this project is surprisingly like sounds pretty cool, even though like I only made this in 7 days, right? Compared to like the sun and the waves, to be honest, like I prefer to listen to this song compared to the sun and the waves. And the reason is because, well, the reason I can make this song sounds good because of the mistake I made in the sun and the waves, right? Because of the conflicting register between instruments, like, and now I can clearly make like, okay, uh, the melody occupies like this register, and then the bass occupies this register, and then the piano melody, and then the saxophone melody. Like I can properly plan now after the mistake I made in the sun and the waves, right? And that's why actually like it's easier to mix. Okay, it's easier to mix. So technically, wait, where is it? Uh, okay, yeah. Oops. Okay, yeah. I think this is the piano. And then this is the, I guess, like the piano for the chords, and then this is the bass, and this is uh, for the saxophone, right? So yeah, one thing that you can actually notice is I now learn how to stack multiple limiter. Yeah. So this is something that I have not learned in uh in the sun and the waves. So yeah, after I made and uploaded the sun and the waves, then I just found out about like you can stack the same effect. Yeah, basically you can use the same effect like a couple times. So uh, this is basically like again, this is to design the sound, right? This is to design the sound, and then this is the clipper, I guess, like to well, we already talked about this before, like in the previous stream. So yeah, just I guess like cut off the the transient, right? And then this is the compressor, right? This is the compressor, and then once these three is combined, and then I just put like a limiter. So this is like the first limiter. So it kind of sounds already like uh, compressed, I guess. It sound compressed, but this is without the reverb. Like so, yeah. Uh, I'm not sure where I learned about this, but yeah, I don't even know like if this is like a good tips, but yeah, at least it works for this project. Maybe like there are better ways to mix this, but yeah, at least this is what I learned. Yeah, this is what I learned. Yeah, maybe one day I will learn something better than this, but yeah. So basically, this is the limiter, and then I add the reverb. But now after you add the reverb, everything else changes, right? So I try to use like the limiter again. Yeah, the limiter kind of works like the compression, right? It has a similar purpose, right? Yeah, and then balance is just to yeah, just to increase the volume, and then the panning is just to yeah, just to again like separate the left audio and the right audio, right? So even though like even though the chord has like similar register to the bass, but since the bass, I put the bass on uh, the left speaker and then the chord on the right speaker, then it does not collide. Yeah, it's basically something like that, right? So, and again, like the saxophone technically collides with the piano, but I can separate it into different speakers. So, yeah, uh, it works fine. And that's why actually this is like the first song that it can be played loudly on YouTube, right? So if you listen to like my previous songs in YouTube, it's considerably worse than the lossless version. But for this project specifically, like the lossless version and the YouTube version kind of sounds basically identical. Yeah, it kind of sounds identical. Yeah, so I think like I compressed this song really well, not really well. Yeah, it's just better than the previous one, right? So yeah, I think I compressed this song pretty well. Uh, some part may sound a bit too compressed, uh, but yeah, at least for this song, I think it's kind of fine because at the same time, it's kind of a joke song, right? It's like a joke song, so it's not a like a serious song. So if some part is scuffed, then it's kind of funny. So yeah, I don't think like this is the best song I've ever written. Obviously, like I learned even more stuff about compression on the Witchspring project, right? And that's why, like on the Witchspring, like the Witchspring medley video, it sounds very clear, right? You can even hear like the phrasing on the piano, and then well, to be honest, like it's one instrument, but still, like it's a lot better compared to like my previous project. So yeah, I definitely learn a trick here and there about mixing and mastering, but still, I need a lot more experience if I want to tackle like bigger projects, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, and this is basically the analysis of uh, this Nugget song. But I promise that I want to compare this with Oranger's Launch, right? Oranger's Launch is the project that I made for Aura's first birthday. Like, yeah, the first birthday. Okay. So yeah, let's try to listen to Our Rangers launch, I guess. I have not listened to this like for a while actually. Yeah, hopefully it's not that bad. Okay, yeah. I mentioned about this earlier, right? So try to compare this part. Yeah, try to compare this part with where is it? The solo bass, right? Yeah, this one. Yeah, it's kind of has the same structure, right? But this one is like more, I guess, like more bind to within each other, right? Where like in the previous project, like the Our Rangers Lounge, it's kind of sounds messy, right? It's like okay, the drum is playing their own, and then the bass is playing on their own, and then yeah, it sounds like a school band. Okay, like the Our Rangers Lounge sounds like a school band. Did I hear a B221? Uh, this is yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. The Our Rangers Lounge one is it does not sound really that good, right? Yeah. By the way, if you are still here, I can tell you one secret. Obviously, don't tell Aura about this. Don't tell Pan about this. Yeah, but there is a Kagame no there is a Kagame no Panda in the song. It sounds pretty cool, right? I mean, it doesn't as bad as I thought. It doesn't sound as bad as I thought, but at the same time, again, like it's not that it's bad. It's less professional, right? It sounds like a school band. It really sounds like it reminds me of school band, like compared to this one. Like this one is like more proper, I guess, right? Like the phrasing is better, and then the mixing is better, and then like the communication between each instrument is better. So like yeah, I mean, it's just more professional, right, compared to like the. Well, to be honest, like the Oranger's Launch is the first time I use FL Studio. Like normally when you try to use like an application for the first time, probably you start with something simple, right? It's not something you are not supposed to start with a jazz with like four different instruments, right? So yeah, when I wrote Orange's Launch is definitely something that was very challenging at that time. But I'm pretty sure I can write it like a lot better nowadays. Yeah, I really like the beat, the two flat chord that thrown in there sometimes. Uh, In which song? Like which song? Like the song? Like the one that I opened in FL? Oh, I know, I know what you mean. Okay, I know what you mean. It's this song, right? It's this part, right? Yeah, this thing. Yeah, this thing. This is right. Yeah. And yeah, I think like it kind of has like this sloppy effect. Like I'm not sure how to talk about it. Like, but yeah, it's kind of sloppy. Like, and again, this song was supposed to be about like Aura, Shangri trying to find nuggets, but yeah, uh, and then you came with like four piece of nuggets, and then instead of giving it to Aura, you just eat it by yourself. Uh, it was the song before, but I can tell you like doing it a little bit if it's in the two songs in a row. Okay. Yeah. Oh, it was a song before. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think like also like the solo in this Nugget song is also like more developed. The one I wrote in Orange's Launch feels like it tries to copy someone else solo. Yeah. I mean, oh my God. Well, oh well. I think I need to remake Orange's Launch. Rangers Lawn sounds a lot better than I thought. Like this is my first project, by the way. Like so, is this my first project? Like this does not sound like a first project at all. Right? I love the 3-3-2 phrasing on the 6 with the kind of bossa nova feel. Yeah. Yeah. It is kind of like the vision I had. I think. Like, I mean, it has been like 1.5 years. So yeah, I kind of forgot like why do I made it like that. Yeah. Uh, But yeah, I think it's kind of like well, I don't think it's bossa nova. Right? I'm not sure what's the correct genre, but yeah, but like bossa nova but spit up, right? Well, I forgot what's the genre. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, thank you so much. Yeah, actually I'm quite impressed with myself. Like with myself last year, it's a lot better than I thought. I like the thing that where you do a minor five first and then you a five chord at the next time. Wait, let me find it. Ah, okay. I think like I'm pretty sure that was accidental, right? I just wrote whatever I want to write. Yeah. So yeah. Actually like Yeah, I know like this stream has been going like for many hours actually. Uh, yeah. Oh, 2 hours. Okay. So yeah, actually, like one of the tips that I can give is like I I did not even think about like each individual chords, right? So when you're thinking about each chord one by one, it's called vertical composition, right? And this one is horizontal composition. So well, I learned about horizontal composition by Jacob Collier, of course. Yeah, is I mean it has exist from it has been exist from long time ago, but yeah, I think like Jacob Collier at least popularized the term horizontal composition, right? And yeah, whenever I wrote something like let's say like okay let's say like this part, right? Yeah. So how do I rate this part? Like, so, this is the solo slash the melody, and then when I want to write uh the chord, right? So first I write the this is like I usually call this the counter melody, right? I call this a counter melody. Yeah, I write the counter melody first. Yeah, so this is the counter melody, right? And then this is like just a simple bass. So uh just listening from Discord is quite ambiguous. So you can't really tell like, well, where is the direction of this song, right? But then combined with the bass, yeah. So suddenly it sounds like it sounds complete, right? So yeah, I don't really like think about like one chord like I don't really think chord by chord because like I'm pretty sure like whenever you try to play jazz like live, um you don't think the whole uh chord at once, right? Probably you're just playing. Okay, I'm playing this chord, and then other musician play that chord, and then it's stacked on top of each other, and it kind of create like a more complex chord, like with some weird with some weird upper extension of stuff. Yeah, but individually it sounds simple, but combine it with together, and it sounds complex, right? Yeah. So usually, like I think of the melody first, obviously, and then the counter melody, and then the bass, and then I just feel everything else. Yeah, that's how I usually write. How I usually write music, to be honest. Yeah, and the everything else is just to add context, right? Just to add context. Yeah, because like just using the bass and then the counter melody and then the melody, uh, you can already create like a weird uh well kind of like weird upper extension stuff, right? Actually, I have a demo here. Uh, earlier I showcased this earlier, like a couple hours ago. Where is it? Yeah, this one. This is just different types of 251 actually. Yeah, this is just different types of 251. Oops. Yeah, this is like just 251 in the root position, and it sounds weird because there is no motion, right? But just changing the position and to create like some kind of upward motion, and then yeah. So even though it looks simple, it's just 251. But again, usually when I wrote this, I think of the thunder melody first, and then the bass, and then just fill everything else. And then this is the secondary 251, right? Yeah, and you can clearly see like how the counter melody works, right? But it's kind of jumping around here and there, like the bass. And then I learned about tritone substitution, and then the tritone substitution kind of makes the bass sounds like more flowing. Yeah, and if you combine like both tritone substitution and secondary 251, and it kind of sounds like this. Yeah, and it suddenly sounds fancy, right? Even though again, this is just 2 5 2 5 1, and then I just think about like the counter melody, and then fill everything else for the context. Yeah, and then this is the minor version of 2 5 1, and then this is like the spicy version with 2 5 1 and tritone sub. Yeah, even though like this is just na ni na, and then this is just 2 5 1 with tritone sub, and then just fill everything else. Like F major 7 B. Oh, okay. Yeah. Uh, yeah. Actually, like I forgot what kind of tips that is like. So, uh, yeah. Oh, okay. I remember what's the term called. It's called voice leading, right? Yeah, it's called voice leading. So, well, this is not really a voice leading. So, in voice leading, usually like there are whenever we convert from chords to chords, there's only like one chord change and one note change, like between chords to chords. Like usually, like in voice leading, usually that was the case. Uh, yeah. I mean, I think it's better on an orchestra, because like in orchestra you can kind of like hold a notes or something. Yeah. And it kind of moves like slower. It moves slower. Like if I will voice it like this, it kind of like everything moves at the same time, right? But if you voice it like the F major 7 D over D, and then F major 7 B flat 5 over G, yeah, it kind of sounds more like it's more connected, right? Because yeah, again, the voice leading stuff. However, yeah, this is just from my background actually. My background is from choir, not from orchestra. So in choir, I think like what I approach here is more common in choir than the thing I learned about voice leading. Yeah, because like if you try to apply voice leading or like your chord progression in a choir, that means like there is one person who is singing the same note for like a couple bars, and that's not fun at all for to sing. Right? Like it's really rare to have something like that. It's really rare. Like it's boring to be honest. Like if you try to sing it like that, yeah. It's like just one note, and then like it's really long note, and then like nothing's changed at all. Like everyone else like singing like differently, and then you're just singing like the same note or like for a couple seconds. Like it's yeah. I think it's in choir at least like it moves around a lot. Yeah. Uh, that's at least from my experience. But again, like I think like in my previous projects, I forgot which one. I applied the voice leading one because again, like it's more smooth. Like yeah, it's smoother. Yeah, it's smoother because I think like it works well on strings. Yeah, if you put it on strings, like those kind of voicing is better. Like in orchestra, yeah, in orchestra setting. Yeah, I think well, again, this might be completely incorrect because I'm a newbie, but yeah, hopefully that's like a different perspective. And if I'm incorrect, please let me know because I'm also learning. Okay, yeah, I'm also learning. I just made music for like this is my second year, right? Yeah, this is my second year. So yeah, I mean, I have been learning music basically like throughout my life, but yeah, this is the first time I learned something that's a bit more complex, I guess. Yeah. Uh, that's really good actually. D20. Yeah. Um. Uh. Yeah. Um. This is maybe like yeah uh hot takes, right? This is a hot takes, but I generally don't like when musicians don't care about music theory. So the reason is actually simple. It's not that music theory is important or not important to make good music. That's not about it, right? So the reason is because, well, in real life, I'm a teacher and a researcher. So whenever something is whenever whenever you try to make something, to make a theory out of it, and then you try to research it. So there are some people who basically dedicate their life to research that topic, and then you just say, "Oh, it's worthless." So I don't like that kind of mentality. Yeah. Well, maybe it's not suitable for your kind of music, but it's not a good way to say it's not important. Yeah, because well, you're just basically just uh like disrespecting some people's work on music theory, right? Yeah. And I think like the good way, the better way to learn it is it's just like enjoy it, right? If it's useful, then good, and then if it's not useful, then why not? Like it's just learn it for fun, right? You don't have to apply everything to your project, right? Just learn it for fun. Yeah, and I think that's a better mentality to learn about anything, to be honest, not just music. Yeah, and that's the first. Yeah, that is the first hot takes, and then the second hot takes is actually like between digital versus classical. Yeah, so I've seen a lot of people who said that my music is overly complicated because I try to add phrasing. Yeah, because I always try to add phrasing, and people say that no one will notice. Well, blah 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 blah, and I don't like that kind of mentality because yeah, I already tried it to several people, and they can notice it. Like the the playing without phrasing and the playing with phrasing, they can absolutely notice it. So yeah, I really wish like uh, a lot of uh, pop musicians especially should try to learn about phrasing. Yeah, like musical phrasing, like the thing that you learn in the in music degree. Obviously, I I'm not a I don't have a music degree, but yeah, I was classically trained. And you really need to be classically trained if you want to keep improving your music. It's really important to be classically trained. Like uh, if you want to be a good jazz musician, you need to be classically trained. This is basically this is my tips. This is the tips from my jazz teacher. Like he has already passed away, like a couple of years ago, when 10 years, roughly 10 years ago. Yeah, and he already said that he upset with so many jazz musicians which cannot play classical, and then also like rock, like metal, is also based on classical, right? And then like many different genres also branch like from classical, and then yeah, well, obviously like everything starts with classical. Like I mean, it does not have to be like the Western classical. It might be like Chinese or Japanese or something, but it must root from classical, right? And yeah, it's important to learn like everything. I couldn't even reliably tell the difference between a minor and major chord when I started. It feels better when I know everything that's happening in the song. Yeah, true, true, true. Yeah, that's absolutely correct. Like, uh, I have this example. I mean, this is not supposed to be for this stream, but yeah, I can showcase you like how phrasing impact the song, even if it's digital, right? Um, yeah, this is from my previous project. Yeah, this is actually a collab with a VTuber. So this is just an accompaniment. But this is 100% digital, by the way. This is not a live. This is not a live recording. Yeah, phrasing is super important. And the latest project that I just upload like a couple days ago, is I think like is the most involved with the phrasing. So yeah. Actually, let me play this part because this is kind of jazz, and we are talking about jazz today. So yeah, yeah. And I still cannot believe that this is digital. Right? It kind of sounds like a live recording. Like, damn, you are so good. I'm jealous. Well, I'm not good. I'm still trying to improve my best. Yeah. Um, well, the one that you just listened is my latest project, and that is basically my upper bound. Okay, that's like the the number one, like the best thing I could make right now. So yeah, everything else is worse than that. So yeah, I'm just cherry picking here to display the better one. If you look at like my previous project, there are a lot of bad ones too. Yeah. So yeah, I'm definitely not good. So but I'm glad that I can at least notice where part is which part is bad and which part is good. So at least like I can fix the mistake and then keep like the good parts, right? Yeah, I think that's important, man. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, oh, okay. For that song, it is a cover uh from uh from a BGM of a song, right? But I mean, I changed a lot of the chord progression, but yeah, I have to keep a theme, like I guess. Yeah. Yeah, in that cover it's I'm not as free as in this project lah. I can say that at least. Yeah. uh well, actually, like, this is kind of like the end of the stream. I mean, not really the end. I still have like, I guess like 10 slides. This is basically the conclusion. And yeah, actually, like, thank you D20 like for this discussing in this stream. Uh, I'm happy like actually this stream got recommended, and it actually helps other people. So, uh, yeah, this conclusion basically like I guess like concludes what you based from the start of the stream. So yeah. Uh, to be honest, like, oftentimes like chess tutorials are intimidating, like, so I think like chess is fun. Yeah. I mean, I think like most people agree with this, but don't know how to start, right? And again, most tutorials are just filled with scary names and notation. And personally, like, uh yeah, don't get intimidated. Like, I love learning about this notation because like it's cool, right? We can talk about something cool. So it's nerdy, and it's always fun. It's always fun to talk something nerdy, right? But you don't have to like rely on this, right? If learning about this makes you happy, then do it. But if it makes you like run away from jazz, then yeah, maybe there's a better way to learn, right? Do you have any advice for how I should go about learning this stuff? Like other than music theory, because I'm in a weird situation when I have to learn everything that isn't music theory. Okay. Um, hmm. I guess like try to listen a lot. Yeah. Try to listen a lot. Make a lot and then listen a lot too. Yeah. Those two are really important. So usually like I'm not spending my time in watching like music tutorials. Usually like the uh one of the YouTube channel that I basically almost watch every single video is Charles Cornell, right? So Charles Cornell is basically he breaks down songs, right? He breaks down songs. Uh, so I prefer learning that way. Like it's not really like systematic when you learn something like music theory in like maybe like in uni or stuff or like when you're learning with a teacher, then you can learn it like more systematically. But I don't really like learning with a curriculum. That's just how I am. So it applies to every single subject that I learn, not just music theory. So yeah, I I I prefer when it has motivation for like yeah, basically like okay, I love this song. So the first thing that I need to ask is why do I love this song, right? Then I start breaking down of that. Yeah, it might be because of the music theory. It might be because of the again like the phrasing. Might be like the class more maybe like more the classical stuff. Maybe like it's more on the mixing stuff, and then it's more on the mastering stuff. And again, I still not even sure like what is mixing, what is mastering, but I can start to understand. Yeah, like whenever the more I learn, and then like and I try to listen to like my favorite song, it kind of gets better because I notice more and more stuff that I previously cannot notice. Like, oh, I can hear like this note is actually compressed, and then oh, I can hear like this is actually this gets lower down so other part can shine more, and then I can hear like oh, this maybe like this guitar part sounds uh more noticeable after I wrote a guitar part. Yeah, it's something like that. So the more I write, the more it's fun to listen, and then the more I listen, the more it's fun to write. So it's kind of like a feedback loop, right, between write and listen. Yeah, yeah, and just keep doing it. Like, to be honest, like I've been doing this for a hobby, like not writing music, but listening to music properly. Like not just listening without thinking, like just listening to us music properly. I've been like breaking down songs in my mind, like at least for 5 years, at least 5 years, yeah. Because like I love music, then I want to know why I love the music, right? And then oh, that's the first. And then second, a good way to learn is through comparison. You can if you try to listen to just one song, then it might not be too noticeable, right? But if you compare it with other songs, then you can start to compare which one is better. Well, and again, like when I said which one is better, it's not like you like it's not in like in mocking situation, right? This is like a educational comparison. So we need to understand like what makes this better, in which context, and yeah, basically like this is educational setting, right? And again, this is kind of inspired by something in real life too, because I'm a teacher and a researcher. Whenever you try to research, like whenever you try to come up with like a better solution that you try to research, you need to compare it with the state of the art. Like that's literally how human do research. Like for the past, I'm not sure, like thousands of years. Right? Yeah, we need to create better things from the previous. Right? So in research, it's filled with comparisons. And whenever we create something better, it's not like we are mocking the previous researcher. We are just creating something better. Yeah. And then like the previous researcher can also learn from our stuff and then create even more better things, right? So that's the mentality that you need to bring when you are trying to compare yeah, several stuff at once. Yeah. And that's like a very effective way to actually to learn anything, by the way, not just music theory, not just music in general. Yeah, yeah, and just start with what you like. And actually there is one more tips that I can give. This is kind of funny. This is one of my hobby. a very niche hobby, and that is to break down national anthems. I really love breaking down national anthems. Why? Because like usually, um, it's really hard for us to like to relate to the song, right? But at least we can kind of relate to our own national anthem. So let's say like I'm from Indonesia. So Indonesia is like has like hundreds of millions of people, and then like with like a couple thousands races, and then a couple thousand islands or something. So it's kind of really hard to unite, right? Because it's different many different backgrounds at the same time. But imagine like one day the president came to you and then asked you as a composer, okay, try to write a national anthem that can unite these people. Yeah, like how do you even start with that, right? But you already have one. Yeah, we already have one, right? Every country should have like a national anthem. So try to listen to the national anthem because it should represent like the people, the culture, the history, and yeah, and how the music theory like helps it to like build the yeah what you want to showcase in the song, right? So yeah, music national anthem is a really good way to start learning about music theory. I'm sure like this is a very niche tips, but yeah, trust me, like national anthem is really amazing. Yeah. The criticism I've ever broken down so far is the space of your existence by. Okay, I have heard of that name. Yeah. I'm pretty sure like it's like one of the like influential jazz player or something like. It's entirely in quintuplets, and there's this one part that expresses five to the polar rhythm. Yeah. I've never thought about like national anthem. Yeah, national anthem is simple, but that's why like I said it's underrated. Like uh, people think like oh national anthem we sing that like every other days or something. Yeah, we don't really care about that. But again, like uh, there must be one really talented composer behind that that tries his best to use everything that he knows to represent a whole country in one song. And just try to think how huge that task is, right? Like how do you even start? And that's why music theory is important, right? Yeah. Like seriously, it's really good tips. Just pick any national anthem. Yeah. Try to pick your own national anthem first and then compare it with other country and then try to learn their culture too. So let's say like okay, I love maybe like actually like um yeah, there are several national anthems that I love. Like obviously, I love the Indonesian national anthem is like S tier, by the way. Yeah, uh, a lot of people like talk how good American national anthem is, but you can kind of see like how different the culture is between like the U.S. and Indonesia. Right? And, like just from like in U.S. national anthem, usually it's just one person like performing, and then everyone is just uh like standing there, right? But in Indonesia, everyone, every citizen sings the song. Yeah, like it's something simple, right? It does we're not even talking about like how the chords and then how the chord progression and stuff, but just from that, you can see like the culture and then the people and yeah, it's just a huge rabbit hole just talking about national anthem. Yeah, so it's a really good way to learn about music, by the way. Yeah, and then this is like again, this is a conclusion from yeah from this trivia. The chord progression. This is like some I guess some tips that I can give you. Use ambiguous chord for flexibility. Then shape the context with the bass line, usually with the bass line, and then shape upper extension with counter melody, and then fill in the rest. Yeah. And shape passing chords with ornaments. Again, it's not really been showcased in this project, but in the Witchspring one, it's like filled with passing chords. Yeah, and then don't forget to think of texture. This is like again very underrated. Texture is very important. Phrasing is very important. Even with the same chord progression, with different phrasing, can have completely different context. Yeah, if you just can like, you can watch like my previous stream when I make the Inochi no Namae because it was interesting. There is one part where everything makes sense in terms of the chord progression, But when you try to sing it, and then it does not make sense. Yeah, like it's too dissonant for the song. Yeah, and I try to change the chord, and it does not work. Because yeah, again, like I have the justification for that chord, but it does not sound good. Yeah, so it works theoretically, but it does not work like in practical. And actually, like finally, the solution is to change the phrasing, and it works. Yeah, yeah. So phrasing texture is very important. And then again, this is a huge meme on the jazz repetition legitimized, right? My number one tips for repetition legitimize is just copy and paste. What you need to repeat is not the whole thing. What you need to repeat is the idea. Okay, so you can start with any idea. Yeah, even if you kind of make a mistake, the mistake is the new idea, right? And then if you repeat the mistake, then it becomes cool. Yeah. And then if you justify the mistake with the context, it becomes jazz. And that's why like that's why like these tips like repetition legitimizes is from the jazz meme, right? Yeah. And this is obviously useful for writing improv. Right? Yeah, definitely. Wait, someone gets a reference. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, there are a lot of cool jazz memes actually. Yeah, and then this is the odd meter, right? Because this song is written in 11, 11/8. Uh, use it in the right context, right? Try to justify why you need the odd meter, right? So uh, in this song, right, the reason why I use 11 because like 5 is too fast and then 6 is too slow, so I just put it in the middle and it works. Yeah. So yeah, as long as you can justify it, then it's fine. Yeah, usually like it's more for tension, right? So you can pair it with again like always pair tension with resolution, right? So if the tension is odd meter, basically the resolution is even meter. Yeah, I mentioned it before, like in Mission Impossible, right? Mission Impossible, like dun 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 dun. This is tension, right? And then and then it goes back like 6/8, and then go back again to 5/8, right? So yeah, tension and resolution. It works in yeah. This is basically like music. Right? Music is just full of tension and resolution. Right? And again, if you just try to show off, this is not a good justification. Okay, yeah, this is not a good justification. Yeah, yeah. I mean, uh, what you need to showcase is your skill, right? You're like not like you need to be smart, not look smart, right? Okay, yeah. Basically, that's my tips. The lake is another funny one, of course. Like the lake and then the giant steps. Yeah, there are a lot of good jazz memes. Yeah, and actually, like back to like the reason why I made this song. It's actually a part of another bigger project in the future. Yeah, so I tried to make this is supposed to be a BGM of a game. Yeah. That's why I need it to be loopable. Yeah. And this is like my constraint of the song. First is it must be loopable. Second, like this is kind of like the way I judge music. So if I have listened to it like maybe like 1,000 times and I still find that music interesting, then it's good. Yeah, that's how I judge music. Yeah. Uh, So yeah, there are some songs where I have listened to it like tens of thousands of times, and I still find something interesting in there. Then that is like the best song I've ever heard. Yeah, this is like my ways to write to analyze music basically, and obviously like because this is a BGM of a game, then it will be looped over and over again. Then then it has to be addicting, but it should not be boring. It should not be intrusive because it's just a big BGM, right? Oh, it's part of a game. Well, maybe in the future. Yeah, if I have the time to make the game. Yeah. My favorite use of odd meter is in the song "Fly of Beelzebub" by. Okay, I never heard of that song. Yeah. Syncopated bass riff. Okay, I will try to look that after the stream. Yeah. My favorite, like, it's not odd meter actually. Well, it is kind of odd meter. It's more like polyrhythm to be honest. There is like one song by Sasakure UK. is the 5 minute anthology or something. Yeah, that song is like crazy. Yeah. uh, yeah, but this is basically like the song idea. Right? So this is actually like another good way to learn. Uh, Usually, like if we have infinite possibility, it's actually like it's a lot harder to write anything, right? But whenever you have like more constraints, it is actually easier to learn. Yeah. Uh, so try to limit your scope of your project, right? So and that's why like the scope of this project is quite limited, right? Well, I have to be loopable, and then I have to be something like this and that. So yeah, create plan out the constraint first, so you can create the solution, and the solution is basically the music, right? So yeah, and again, the song originally is in lo-fi. This song is a lo-fi, and the pattern is just A B A B, right? So this is kind of boring. If I just loop this like for maybe like 10 hours, but if you replace it with A B C B A B C B, and then the C is like the solo part, and then it kind of sounds a lot more interesting, right? Right, because it's spaced out more. And then again, in this project, I use several variations of B. Yeah, because B is most used. I have four different variations like for the B section, right? Yeah, and then again, like the solo from different instrument on C, and then the A is basically for to rest, right? So it's not too intrusive. So this is kind of the solution for this constraint. Right? So yeah, having constraint is actually push push your creativity even more. Yeah, and then actually like this should be the end of the stream, right? So next stream, which is to be announced, is should be talking about like the Witchspring medley, the thing that I just played like a couple of minutes ago. And I already say that this is one of my best works, if not the best works. And I will be talking about like interpretation and again replicating phrasing digitally, because I've been like writing music digitally for 2 years and have never even seen a single person talking about this like in this industry, and there is a good reason for this. First, like if you're a digital person, like if you're a digital person, then you're playing everything in digitally, so you're not classically trained. But if you're digital person but classically trained, then probably you have access to like your piano or like your instrument, and then you can just do live recording, right? So if you're classically trained, probably you can do a live recording. But if you are not classically trained, then you just write everything digitally, then you don't even know about phrasing, right? So yeah, and the reason why I have to learn about this is because currently, like I live in a very small room where I cannot even fit a piano, like even an electric piano. I cannot even fit an electric piano. So yeah, I don't have access to my piano. I don't have access to any kind of recording. So everything I can do is on my laptop. So I have to improvise. So turns out this is quite a rare condition. And again, because like most of classically trained musicians have access to their own instrument, but I don't. So I have to find a way, right? So I always try to replicate the phrasing that I have in piano digitally. And this is basically like the topic for next stream, which is still to be announced because yeah, I will have like a 2 week trip. Uh, 1 week to Azerbaijan for a competition, and then 1 week to UK for the expo. But yeah, uh, hopefully like this stream will be helpful because I know how important it is. Like the more I made music, the more I realize how important it is, and how I think like many digital musicians should try to learn phrasing. Yeah. Replicating phrasing digitally makes stuff so much better. Yeah, so much more fluent. Right? It flows more. Right? It flows more. It's less robotic. Yeah. If you listen to a song and then you think like it kind of sounds AI generated. Yeah, it's because there is no phrasing. Like it's just machine. Right? It's machine generated. Right? Even if it's human generated, but still. Right? Yeah, I mean, I saw a lot of workaround. So, like, oh, okay, instead of like doing a like a proper phrasing on the velocity, they just like increase the volume and then decrease the volume. But okay, like that's not how people play piano. Yeah, and again, if you kind of have to know about like the instrument if you want to learn about this. So yeah, and that's another rabbit hole, right? So let's say like if you want to replicate the phrasing on piano, you have to know how to play piano. And then if you want to replicate the phrasing on guitar, then you have to learn about guitar. And then if you want to replicate the saxophone, then you have to know about saxophone. Then yeah, you guys can see like this is like a very deep rabbit hole. Yeah. So yeah, I'm very excited for this stream actually because yeah, this is one of my best work and this is a very rare topic to discuss. And actually, I don't really have a next project because I've been preparing for this the 2 weeks trip, right? Uh, yeah, uh, I do have some promises to two people to that I need to fulfill. So yeah, definitely I have some projects in mind. Uh, then I need to remaster old songs because again, like I just found out about remastering. I just found out about mixing and mastering like a couple months ago. So I need to remaster like songs that I made like a year ago. And then I want to make one song for Christmas and then one song for the New Year basically. Also, you should definitely check out that song I mentioned. It's pretty cool. It has a part where it switches from 5/4 to 5/8. Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, because like the beat stays the same, but the feeling like it's like the feels is like twice faster, right? I guess it's kind of like somewhat metric modulation, right? Yeah, I think like in the whispering medley, there is a metric modulation. Though. Yeah, metric modulation is also like a very cool tool to have. Right? I'll be here for the next stream, hopefully. Yeah, thank you so much, thank you so much. The D20. Okay, D20 is the dice. Yeah, the dice. Yeah, and actually, that's all for this stream. This stream is exactly 3 hours actually. So yeah, usually at the end of the stream, I always play the songs again. So yeah, let me play the song for the last time, and then we can end the stream. Yeah. So thank you everyone for watching this stream, and yeah, I'm glad that this stream is recommended to other people. I don't even know how, but yeah, I'm glad that it is that's the case. Yeah. And nice to meet you, D2. Hopefully you enjoyed the stream. And yeah, thank you for watching. Let me play the song for the last time and then we can end the stream. Thank you. Where is the song? Oh my God. Oh yeah, this one. Yeah, and by the way, for our Rangers, if you want to like use this song for your own game, then yeah, just contact me, and of course I will give the permission. Yeah. Well, I need to clarify. If you want to create game for Aura, then of course I will give the permission to use the BGM. Yeah. So yeah, uh, feel free to use any of the songs that I've made for Aura, for your Aura fan game, right? Uh, yeah, but I need to remaster some of the old stuff too. But yeah, at least like this song is like for now, I don't even know how to improve like the mastering and the mixing for this song, right? But so yeah, this song is kind of complete if you want to make a game using this song, right? Then for Aura, then yeah, feel free to contact me. I think like you can at least like for my game idea, I want to create an idle game, but like idle clicker game, not like the idle game that is like the browser extension. Uh, but yeah, like a proper idle clicker game. And then I think you can use this for rock like too. I mean, you can kind of feel like the balatro feeling from this song, right? So yeah, uh, yeah, feel free if you want to have like a rock like idea, and then you want to make it for Aura, and then yeah, just contact me. Yeah, thank you, and I will end the stream. Bye bye.